our race, if the man is black, the wife is yellow. If the wife is yellow, the man is black.
We're just going to listen to the rest of this interview
because the system made them do that.
together, because you're all my family. And then I'm going to bed. I'm tired. Fridays are always long. Peace and blessings to you. Enjoy the Sabbath.
But I love it now that I understand why. That's why you see people married from different colors. My grandmother was blacker than me. Her hair was like that short. Kept saying she was a black twin. I thought she was making fun of us. She called her.
That's what a lot of people. That's what I'm a black twin.
Yes. Yes. But her husband was a yellow, peckerwood looking daddy. We call him Daddy Bob. A beautiful brother. Because he knew his daddy was an Indian and his mama was white. And the white mama had come from a white family, which was M-A-R-S-H. But when it got into that mixed marriage, for some reason it changed to C-H. We never could figure out how that happened, but you know what happened. They didn't want that to be hooked up back into the M-A-R-S-H. But Daddy Bob was very light complected. A Mason. Everybody looked up to him. He knew the book. He knew the Bible. He read the Bible every day. Grandma March, my grandma said, the heck with that. She ain't going that way. I never could figure out how they could get along. They had 7 children. But daddy was older. I can't explain that. I'm not heavy enough to get into that. But I'm just saying, we can get back to what really happened in history. We can begin to understand why we are where we are today. And y'all know we got a lot of Uncle Remus, Lion, Two-Face, Uncle Tom, and Angie Mammies in our race that we will never get ahead if we don't identify them as such. You got it?
I got it.
Yeah. In the beginning, relationship between the English and the did I read that already? Yeah. Prisoners, yeah. The peace was not permanent, and after death of Wachakuchi, I can't pronounce the name, his brother, oh Lord, here's another, I can't pronounce it, became chief. The new leader was concerned about the encroachment, listen carefully, of the English settlers who were constantly moving west. They were stealing land. And they had to listen, ladies and gentlemen. When I take another excursion to Elmwood Cemetery, I'm going to personally take you along. The first governor of Michigan from the European's perspective, which would be United States of America, was a white boy named Cass, C-A-S-S. Yeah. Out at Elmwood Cemetery, there's a huge plot, where he's got his whole family. He got little monuments on the right, and he's got a humongous monument in the front. Well, everything looks in order until you ask, is the wife still living? And the answer is no. Then where is she? So the brother said, come with me. He took me around the back of this big colossal thing, and there was a plaque on the ground. Morning. They wouldn't even bury her with her family. And they had to marry her in order to get the land of Michigan on the book for the Europeans. Because the land was always in the women's name, not the male. Anybody that doubt it, come to Michigan and come to Detroit and I'll take you over and show it to you. There's an ugly, dirty plaque on the ground, dirt, mud, leaves, everything. You got to scrape it off with your hand to see that she was the wife of this racist. It's got this beautiful, beautiful layout. I can't even describe it to you. Almost sitting on a half acre. He got all of his children and grandchildren on one side. He's in the middle, huge. And they talk about everything. And you wouldn't even bring it up if I didn't tell you, ask you where the wife was. She ain't nowhere to be found. till you go around the back. And I mean around the back. And there she is. So now every state had to do that. Michigan had 2 governors, but they had the real governor who was elected from the Moors in the territory, and then they had what they call a provincial government that was sent in by Washington, D.C. And as soon as the real governor died, there was no more election. They started electing this new governor, and then nobody ever challenged it and acquiesced it. You agreed that Cass became the governor of Michigan. Okay. 12 years later.
Someone say the same thing that comes out there in New York.
Yes, same thing in every state. Not Philadelphia, but Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Everything, every state. They couldn't get the land until, what? I'll ask you this. Here's a good question. And maybe they'll answer it in the chat room. I want to know where everybody listening tonight, where do they live? Now, the first one that comes in, I'm going to tell you what's happening, and that nobody else has to come in. But as soon as you get something in that chat room that tells you where they live, and where they're from, that type of thing, let me know.
Okay, so New York and the one say Alabama.
All right? Now, a question to either one of them. Are they telling us they live in the state capitol building of New York or the state capitol building? The answer is no. But why do they say they're from there? They're from the county near New York. Like I'm from Wayne County near Detroit. Because I don't live, the capital of Detroit, or the city county building of Detroit, is downtown on Woodward, 1 Woodward. That's a building. That's what the government bought and called it Detroit. City of Detroit, Not Detroit City. They called it City of Detroit. There's always 2 of everything. So once they put it in all capital letters, they had to change it around from City of Detroit City to City of Detroit. So everybody that called in, they're from the state, but they're not from the state of Alabama. My family is from Jackson County, Tennessee. That's how they did it in the original. European changed all that crap. But I know none of them that said anything lived in the state house of that state. So they could just quit saying they from New York and Alabama. But it's a lie. Now, it ain't a lie, but it's not true. You gotta get it.
Yeah. So Detroit is a corporation.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. The state of...
Hi guys.
When you went to
I'm gonna
school,
plant
Beverly,
my plant.
Beverly,
I think.
when you went to
I've lost my
school,
plant.
they called
Here's what I
Michigan
found.
M-I-C-A. Of Illinois, I-L-L. They call California C-A-L. They call Alabama A-L-A. What do they call it now? They call Michigan 2 letters. M-I. Illinois, I-L. Alabama, A-L. Why? Because they created a fictitious state that don't exist.
The lining of an egg is good for cysts. Help bring cysts to a head.
Challenged it. So we accepted the contract, acquiesced.
Not a boiled egg,
We didn't
right?
know any better.
Fresh. The white part.
It's madness. We used to have songs. I can't remember well on it because I didn't write letters when I was coming up. But they never had zip codes. That's why when you write a zip code today, you should put it in brackets. And guess what, Bob?
Why is that? Why is this why the zip code put it in brackets?
You put it in brackets because literally, technically,
You wanna get
legally,
that stuff.
lawfully, it don't exist. And you letting the corporation know that you ain't buying the bullcrap. So you put it in brackets. Anytime you see anything in brackets, it means that what's in the bracket does not pertain to what you read. Where would you find it the most? IRS document. That's a whole different program. But they do it all the time because they can scare you by saying what they're going to do to you, but they put it in brackets. Meaning they just try to feel you out. Look it up. Don't look at me like I'm going crazy off the deep end. It's a fact. Zip code. Should put it in a bracket. You should even put your house address in brackets. They did that because they can't own land. They created lots that never exist. When you look at your house land description, you think I'm lying, I can prove it right quick. Get out your document on your mortgage, look at the land description, and it'll say things like east-west corridor of so-and-so latitude, longitude, all that kind of stuff. If you look that up, you'll find that it's a humongous area of land. It ain't no lot. I looked mine up, and it was about 800 acres. And that was on my land description of my mortgage. Something. So they can't own land, and they divvied it up and started labeling it lots, whatever, acres. They created that. That don't exist. They made that up in order to fool you to think that they own something. They don't own nothing. They're not allowed to own nothing in accordance with the original Constitution. All you got to do is read it. That's why they don't want you to listen to the Constitution. They don't want you to read the Constitution. They don't want you to even think about the Constitution. They talk about democracy, which means they made it up because they were in power. Demonism, democracy, democratic, what it is.
So we're dealing with a bunch of
Yes.
Well, we know
Yes.
that.
And they're good.
I'm talking about eating
The only
people.
protection you
Body
have
parts.
is knowledge of. There's no need to even talk about fight, because you never beat it. It cannot be defeated. But they have to put you to sleep before they can do their dirt. And that's what they do. And that's where we are. Remember what I told you, the first president of the United States was who? Adam Waffen, European, the founder of the Illuminati. They took his face and put it in a black plate. People listening, this is a good question. Since we got a live audience, I want somebody to go to the chat room and say that they know a European family with the name Washington. I'll give them 2 seconds to get it. They don't exist. Why not? We know the European wants to be a part of anything that can create power. Who in the world could be more powerful than a descendant of George Washington?
Descendant of the Most High.
You got the Kennedys all over the place. You got the Clintons all over the place. Soon you're going to have the Obamas all over the place. All the Republicans, Romneys, and all the names mean something. Can get you started in a political fight. Or not fight, but a political position.
Here goes Snowbird.
Daddy was Abraham Lincoln. That old crap.
How far?
What the hell has Andrew Jackson? There's a few white folks named Jackson. They don't like to talk about it. But you ain't gonna find nobody named Washington. It's gotta be a
Not a
reason
whitey.
for that. Reason what? Remember?
yes. I mean, I'm
Washington. Washington